just to convene back to what I had said earlier about the Dominion and the quote I read from the court case, St. Catherine's Milling Lumber Company versus the Queen. At the end of the day, in the ruling, the province had jurisdiction to give out permits and whatnot to anybody that wanted to get one. And of course, the federal government were also given the duty under statute, administrative regulatory policies for good governance. That's what they were given. So now, even the British North American Act is a statute. It's written in your court. That's what they say in the court ruling. The British North American Act is a statute. Now, when it comes to the difference between judiciary and statutory, administrative, regulatory policies, one has more power over the other. So, let's say, for example, the Royal Proclamation of 1763 with King George versus the statute of the British North American Act, where the Indian people were put under Section 9124. But in the beginning, the agreement that anyone that was an Indian that had not surrendered or given up any land was supposed to be, wasn't under that jurisdiction and was supposed to be protected by the sovereignty of the king. So with that in mind, when we look at, they say also that the Indian looked at 1763 as their charter. And to my understanding of that, and what the law says, there's two things here. A charter, I believe, would make me a successor to the crown. I have to have something in place, and even in your agreements after the fact, you look at the Treaty Line Entitlement Framework Agreement, 1992, and in there in Article 15 of that agreement, by the way, Saskatchewan Treaty Line Entitlement Framework Agreement 1992 is the formula that was used for the Manitoba Treaty Line Entitlement Agreement. In there in Article 15 it says, abandon unto Canada forever all rights, titles, and privileges. And then, I can't say word for word, but if I had it in front of me, I would say it to all the heirs, assigns, and successors had, ever had, or will have. So, who are they talking about in that article? Heirs, successors, assigns. I think they're talking about the Indian people there. So at one point, because of a charter that we believed in 1763 Royal Proclamation, we are successors to the crown. Sovereignty. The Queen of England, like today. So with that, now let's go back to 1763 again. That the lands are vested in the crown. Automatically it says that when we read off the hop in the opening statements. So the lands are vested in the crown then in the Supreme Court ruling St. Catherine's versus the Queen. They say there that the province was the trustee. And then of course, the feds had other duties, the federal government, or the Dominion rather, had other duties. But ultimately, if there's a trust agreement, it's a beneficiary, like I said before. So in there, we need to question that, and we need a clear definition of what happened to the beneficiary, which we believe is us, as Indian people. And that's some thought we'd like to think about for the time being. And for the moment, while things are happening as they are and transparent in the way they're going, I think there's some very important the questions that the province and the Dominion have to answer to us. We need some answers to see a lot of lawful questions that we have now. Regarding even with, for example, at the moment with Franklin Brown, Dakota, and also the Inuit, the Sinskaidenuk. What the Dakota people refer to as the rabbit people is us. The Cree, as most people will know us, or the Soto and the Ojibwe, which are all in one family. And the many of us that got immigrated from our sacred lands in the east and displaced and put in other parts of the continent or in North America. And where the Creator blessed us to live in our sovereign land. Why was that then also? And the various things that took place, our language. I have yet to meet an European in a judicial capacity, in a statutory, administrative, regulatory, policy capacity, to speak fluent Cree or Inuit, such as in my language. I am not perfect in the foreign language of the English, but you understand what I'm talking about when I speak with you. And that's more than I can say for a lot of these people that came here to sign treaty with us in their language and expect us to understand it explicitly and exactly and to the letter and agree with it. And the pros and cons that would have happened to us when we did that, and if that ever happened. That is what we need answers for. What some of the questions we need answers for. So with that, it's been an honor to be here amongst sovereign people and to visit sovereign land, and to my people in the east, my brothers and sisters, the Cree, the Soto, the Ojibwe, all in one family. Some of them are known as the Innu. I see Inuit, Inuit, and the different dialects that are used in their language and in my language to identify who we are. I thank you and I welcome you. We look forward to hearing and listening listening to you and what you have to say in your comments after you look at this. I think we need to get together now is the time to get together and to rise up as a people and to be recognized as a people and to be understood and respected like everyone else, and not the way we've understood and expected everyone else, including the visitors that come to our land. Thank you very much.